following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Welcome back to the Virtuosos podcast. I'm your host, Jules Houston. Alongside of me is Damon and Damien, as usual. Damien returning from his hiatus. For some reason, he think moving is important. I'm not sure what that's all about. He could have put that off. But we know who like the ground, he know who don't. But for all the people that have interacted with the Invincible video that Damon put out yesterday,
shit, like 5 hours ago.
At 4 o'clock this morning,
because they don't know when Amazon don't know when to drop episode or whatnot. Thanks for all the support. We love doing videos like that for you guys. Instead of waiting always for like Thursdays, for recording and getting clips out throughout the week is pretty difficult, especially for a show that comes out on a Wednesday. But more importantly, we got a pretty fun topic today. We're talking about Dave Paddle and Jordan Peele, who are both working on a movie called Monkey Man that's coming out. You guys probably seen some trailers about it, obviously. Mm-hmm. Very high action, gory, a lot of blood, fast paced. It seems like it's less than 2 hours.
I honestly, the first thing I thought it was like Indian John Wick.
Yeah, it looked.
That's like the first thing that popped in my head. No lie,
and it's very similar to I would say like his breakout movie Slumdog Millionaire, because in the way that it talks about, like, they call him like basically like a boy from the slums, I think, even in the trailer, or like a boy is a poor boy, like, yeah. That's all he is. And a lot of people, like, rare criticism, I guess, for Slumdog Millionaire is that they play too much on the poor side than like the fortune side of it. And I was like, but when you can pull out the right tools, I guess, with obviously the slums, the ghettos, and all that.
If you portray it the right way.
Yeah, if you portrayed it right, and I thought it was portrayed perfectly in Slumdog Millionaire, and I hope he portrays it well in his directorial debut. But for you, Damien, how do you feel about Monkey Man and obviously the bright minds behind it?
I'm pretty excited for it. I didn't really hear anything about it until a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I know it's been in the works for a while. I remember like Jordan, like, it was switching hands a lot. Like, it was supposed to get sold to one company, and then the company dropped out, and then Jordan Peele saw it, and he was like, okay, wait, this has potential. Yep. I want to help you produce this thing. And that's how like the ball got rolling on it. And just from what I've seen, I'm excited for it. I'm a big fan of the John Wick movies. It kind of seems like it's following that formula. Yeah. I'm sure it won't be the exact same, like a carbon copy. Yeah. But I like, there's nothing wrong with just having like a fun action movie. Kind of like in that Extraction, John Wick kind of vibe, where it's just like you turn it on, you just have fun for a couple hours. It does seem like it might go a little bit more deeper tones. Like, obviously this is showing him getting his revenge on, I couldn't tell if it was the military or a gang that burned down his village as a kid. Mm-hmm. I kind of like the mythology play into it that they show. Like, I don't obviously know too much about their mythology, but it seems like the white monkey has a symbolism of some sort for them. So, and then to see him don that, as a wrestler in one scene, and then he ends up wearing it as a costume later on as he's hunting these men down. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm honestly going to support anything that Jordan Peele is working on. I'm a big fan of him. So
yeah, I do like Jordan Peele a lot. He's a bright mind. He's very creative, and the fact that this is a directorial debut and also a feature for him as well is pretty. It's rare do you see that.
To see a guy director and act in the same.
Yeah, it's rare nowadays, I should say. But for you, Damon, anything to say, I guess, about Jordan Peele or Dave Paddle?
First of all, I like the trailer, especially the newest one that just came out.
Yeah, that shit was fun.
I ain't gonna lie, it was. Like, this motherfucker's out here looking like Bruce Lee and shit. I'm like, I'm gonna have to tune in. But I'm definitely gonna watch this movie. Like you said, it's under 2 hours. I'm not really familiar with any of the actors in it besides Dev. So I'm probably gonna tune in. I really ain't got no expectations for the movie. Just gonna watch it, enjoy it.
It's nice to have movies like that, though.
Yeah, you got no expectations.
You can just go in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
just watch
there's nothing before it. There's nothing after it. Mm-hmm. Like, I could just walk in and be like, damn, okay, let's see what this is about.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm like super excited for it. It's just a movie. Relax. Like damn, but.
So Dev was actually a part of Oscar award winning short film The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
That's what's his name?
Benedict Cumberbatch was in it as well. He was a star of it.
The guy that made it. I'm trying to think of the guy that made it. It's
Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, do better. Yeah, do better.
My bad.
You're off your game today.
First week back.
Yeah, tap in actually, bro. Tap in with me. But realistically, I mean, he is a very acclaimed actor. He does really good work in general. He's a very easy actor to root for and a very recognizable face. Plays a symbolic role. Like really, he's really like every time, like he stands for something. Or like seems like he likes something that is in the grand scheme of things is bigger than just just a movie. Actually wants to put out quality films for different type of people.
I also heard this was supposed to come out on Netflix. And then Jordan Peele switched it.
Yeah, so I'm saying Jordan Peele's the whole reason this movie is like even getting a theater release. Like, he literally bought into this movie because he liked it so much, and he like thinks this could be like one of the better films that's ever been made.
Yes, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes as of right now. And also, I want to say 3 weeks ago I seen that he got a standing ovation, 2-minute standing ovation, at the first screening of it. He was brought to tears. That's always nice to see because, like you said, seems pretty passionate in his work. Seems like he wants to put out work that is. To certain people that just don't get their voices heard. And that's what I like about him most is like in Slumdog Millionaire. I watched that actually this morning. The thing about that was, like I said, they go on the poor side a lot, but they throw it all the way back to like when they were like 5 or 6 years old and they're just playing baseball. Like, it was something as simple as baseball. And he's very timid, he's very scared. And they're always getting chased by cops. There's always they feel like they're nonstop going to be in trouble. They're never going to get out the slums. It's like this is never in a cycle.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah. So then they go through obviously the motions of life and whatnot. And as they grow up, his brother, who is always very aggressive, I'm the leader. I'm older than you. You got to listen to me. He starts going down a different path than Jamal is his name. Jamal Malik is his name in the movie. He's very shy, very nice. He cares about people, and they finally, try to finally settle because his mom gets killed. I'm pretty sure she gets whacked in the head with like whatever this item was. She gets hit hard as hell. She's like falls back in a puddle of water. She's just laying there. And he literally sees his mother die. Doesn't change him, but it clearly changes his brother. His brother is very upset. Always wants to get back at people. And they, like I said, they go through the motions of life. They meet this girl that he falls in love with. Her name is, I think it was Latika. Him Jamal and Latika had a good connection, but Salim was his brother. He was just not having it. He was like, we got to worry about ourselves. It's only us two. I said, if you're not with me, then who else do I have?
Just dragging him down.
Yeah, so he basically dragging him out. Basically the whole movie. And meanwhile, in present day, he's on How to Be a Millionaire. His whole TV show. And that's basically like the connotation. Everything he's went through in life is a question in the show. So every throwback is to a question.
Okay, so basically he's getting asked, it's kind of like brings a flashback.
Yeah, it's a flashback every single time.
Okay, that's pretty. So, I'd never seen it. Like I said, when you had mentioned to me, I was thinking of a totally different movie.
And the beginning is the end because in school they're reading the Three Musketeers, and the last question is who is the third Musketeer, and he's trying to think back on it, and he calls his brother. In the end, I obviously skip between the middle because I do want people to watch the movie. I don't want to get it. But he calls his brother. His brother is in a whole battle with a whole different fucking gang because he went down the wrong path, obviously. So he's like basically setting himself up to kill this gang or either die trying. Right. While Latika, who went through a whole lot of shit herself because she was in the slum, she went basically the same thing. Being a woman is a little bit different because you get sold. You don't get a chance to be free. So she picks up his brother's phone. And he asks her like, "Do you know the answer?" She says no. So it comes down to him knowing the question, and then they're so mad because they're like, "What is a slum? An 18-year-old slum know about any of these questions?" But he went through so much. It was like age is nothing, experience is everything.
Right.
So with that movie, I really did like it a lot. Actually, I was rooting for him crazy. He was selling me crazy too. I'm talking like all type of like bad decisions and all. Like I'm like, dude, if you don't lock the fuck in and get this money, but at the same time, it's like, bro, the basic like the world is to send you up to fail. They don't want to see you when they just want to get a good story out of you. And they knew he was, like I said, poor 18-year-old kid that just came on the show. They didn't think he had no chance to win. They offered him checks. They offered him to get off the show. They offered him to take your money and leave. And he stayed with it. that was the thing that's also a really good part of it. Is that like he stayed with it, and the whole point was that he wanted to be rich to help his brother, to
get out of that situation there.
But obviously, in the end, he gets the girl because it's like a feel good movie. Obviously, he gets the girl. Yeah, he gets the girl. Finally, after a lot of very unfortunate circumstances, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into it because it is pretty like I guess simp-ish, quote unquote, because because like it's like him chasing his girl for like 12 years. His life is like kind of crazy.
Yeah, but I didn't. 12 years.
It is kind of crazy, but like it's literally like 2 hours, so it was an easy watch. But being a 33-year-old actor, British actor at that, I mean, he's had a lot of roles. He started all the way, I want to say, back in 2000 really his first ever like was voice acting, but Slumdog Millionaire was like literally his first real film that actually took off. So the fact that was 16 years ago,
that was like 07.
He literally was 17, 18 years old.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
so to be in that position to do anything like that is crazy. Won a bunch of awards, obviously. For being like his breakout film, did a bunch of stuff in between up until like you watched The Green Knight.
I know like The Green Knight was like one of like the more recent movies he did that was big. I know he did The Hotel Mumbai. There was another one he did back in like the early 2010s that was really popular too. I can't think of the name. It's like another hotel name or something like that.
Let me look.
It's like 2012 or 2013. I know that was another big one. I didn't personally watch it, but
The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel.
Yeah, I only knew that because the name was like crazy.
Name.
Yeah, long ass name. The Green Knight was really good though. He's the main character of the Green Knight. Set in medieval times. He's basically King Arthur's nephew, and it's just about like a knight basically finding his courage. But it's like I can't explain it because there's no way to explain it. Like it's one of those movies where the whole time you're watching, like I don't understand anything that's going on. And then once you get to the end, you're like, okay, wait a minute.
That's kind of how it was this. Like once I got an hour, and I'm like, all right, this actually kind of low key heat. Like they actually build this.
That's exactly how I explain The Green Knight. Like it's an entertaining movie. It's something that like it latches you on because it's an interesting concept. But like the whole time you got so many questions. You're like what direction is this movie possibly going to go in? And then by the end, you're like, okay, wait, this actually makes sense now. But trying to explain it, quiet for that. That's like genuinely a movie where you have to watch it. I know, and like. It was kind of like there was some weird reviews about it because I mean you know how A24 is. A24 is not scared to show anything. So if they got to get graphic, if they got to show nudity, if they got to do whatever,
and she's holding a fucking
exactly.
So.
They're not gonna hold back on anything like that. But that was like one of A24's like big films too. Like when it first came out, like that's around the time like they dropped Hereditary and Midsummer. And, you know, so when they went on that run of dropping all those big name movies that really blew them up into what they are now.
So yeah, his last 3 films, obviously counting Monkey Man, all have been a little bit bigger than obviously before because Slumdog Millionaire was not supposed to be a big thing, but it ended up being a big thing.
Such
you know
a good movie.
And then everything in between was like, you know, either hit or miss. And obviously like he's a recognizable face like for as long as he's been around, but now that he's directing now,
it almost feels like that's an inevitable step for actors.
Yeah, but it's like how do we see him potentially like this is like 93% on Rotten Tomatoes is like no small feat. Like I said, like we don't put too much stock in Rotten Tomatoes, but like for your directorial debut, you're working with Jordan Peele. I mean, you're all the way in the door. Like there's no way you could, I guess, take a step back besides if you just don't want to be directing anymore.
Yeah, but it just sounds such a tough precedent too. I almost feel like as a director, I'd rather my first movie be like average, like just receive.
Yeah, that's also
because you know, like if he does make this, you know, he's made this movie and it ends up, if it keeps this score and it ends up being as good of a movie as everybody's, you know, that the critics are saying it is or it's gonna be. How do you,
expectations.
Then you automatically have those expectations, and how do you top that? And that's something I want to bring up later on in the show when we get to the next person we're going to talk about.
Okay, yeah, because but that's literally what I was trying to like lead into. Is like him, like, do we see him potentially being like one of those great young directors, like maybe even like a quality over quantity guy? Because like I said, he put so much into his roles of like. Putting like the right kind of stories.
I think that's what he'll end up being. I don't think he'll be like a name where it's like, oh, he's everywhere, but it'll be like, oh, when he makes a movie, you should go watch it. Yeah. Just because of
based off Monkey Man being successful. Yeah. You'll always
it'll be especially if they say if Monkey Man succeeds the way that everybody's expecting it to, then I think so. It'll be one of those things. I don't think it'll be like he won't blow up. He won't be everywhere, but he'll be a recognizable name for sure.
That's why I said like he's a very recognizable face. And then when I was reading, I'm like, I thought he was starring in it. Like I swore he was starring. And then I was like, no, it's like he's directing and acting. And I was like, oh shit.
And that's just a cool thing too for your first, you know, your directorial debut to be also something you're starring in.
It's
and
like
you
he's
are
like
the
almost
main
his
character,
yeah,
you know?
like that's like damn man, 33 years old man, like that's kind of
Yeah,
nuts.
it is.
to
It
think
makes me
about.
think of. I mean, it's not on at all the same scale, but like Happy Hogan
Yeah,
and the first Iron Man movie,
yeah,
because he directed that and he still played Happy Hogan.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So it's
Like you're,
but that was a side character. He was barely
Yeah.
in the movie. You know, this guy's literally directing and he's the main character the entire time.
yeah. That's what I like about him. Like, and even in the Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, he does a lot of narrating in that, and the way the style that they use in the Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is so unique and different. And it's like once I seen him in that, I was like, I actually like that. I like him a lot. Like I wonder what else he's been in. Then when I seen him in this, I was like, oh shit, that's a dude from same movie that obviously Benedict Cumberbatch was in. And I figured it would win an Oscar once I seen it on. So I was like, okay, Wonderful Henry Sugar is different.
Right.
But unfortunately, not a lot of people have seen that, so they don't know how good
Yeah, I
he
know.
can
I
be.
personally haven't seen. I just know
So-
I remember it winning an Oscar.
Yeah, so it's like it's hard for him to like, and for a U.S. audience to buy in. But when you see Jordan Peele's name attached to it, that's when you buy in. You don't buy in when you see him, especially when it's a lot of Indian actors in it. You know what I'm saying? Like you get a lot of
You're not.
Bollywood
There's
actors
like
in
not
it.
like a not. There's not like the Hollywood star.
Yeah,
power,
you're
you
not.
know,
You're not
so-
gonna see somebody you recognize. That's the mindset. Like I don't know anybody else in this movie,
Yeah, exactly.
but I recognize his face. So I know what he's in. If you don't mind, like Damien said, how do you feel about like your first? It's like almost like peaking in your rookie year. Like how like that pressure. How do you feel like that's gonna I guess correlate to the next maybe like 5 years his directing or even acting credentials?
I think the only motherfucker that I've known personally that have done this, I think Michael B. Jordan did it for Creed 3. That's like the most recent motherfucker I know did that. So, again, he gonna have a lot of high expectations, especially if the score stays the way it is. He's not American, which not a lot of people like the casual fan is gonna know his name off the bat, but with Jordan Peele like producing this, he has a chance to really put his name out there, really get bigger into like Hollywood. But at that rate, you probably want to decide like, okay, do I like being a director or do I like being an actor more? Because once you break into Hollywood, you gotta pick
Kinda
a
gotta
lane.
pick a side,
Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
pick a lane. You can't really swerve back and forth.
How many more times are you gonna get the chance to do
Yeah,
to
to
direct,
direct,
and act
yeah.
in your own movie?
If I'm like, why would I bring you in to be a director and actor? Like that's a big risk. Like maybe it's your first time, you got lucky. How many times are we gonna take this risk? So, I'm definitely excited to see how it goes, but probably should pick a lane.
I will say that's probably that's what got me excited about the movie though, is the fact that he must care deeply about this project if he wanted to star in it and also direct it. Because he could have very easily been like, okay, can somebody else direct this movie so I could star in it?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Or
Yeah.
can I find somebody that could portray this character the way that I want it to be portrayed?
Yep.
But if you were willing to put in the extra work to not only act out this main character, but then also direct it as you go, then he must, at least have a lot of faith in the story and how he wants it to be told or something along those lines. Which I think kind of just boosts like the excitement for the film more than anything, because it's not an easy feat, and it's not something that you ever really see.
Yeah, like it's I guess it's more common. I like more like for smaller movies, like not to the greatest scales. Like Bradley Cooper
Yeah.
is a guy. He did it for A Star Is Born. I'm pretty sure he did it for
Maestro?
as well. I'm pretty sure he directed that as well. Danny DeVito directed Matilda and started
Yeah,
Matilda.
true.
I mean, it's not like
Not for, like, the
they
major
say it's not a huge thing,
blockbusters,
but like
yeah.
Tom Hanks has done. He did that thing you do.
I thought you was about to say Forrest Gump. I was like, what?
Nah, he's great, but I don't want to go that far. But it just said people have done it. Quentin Tarantino has done it as well.
Well, Quentin Tarantino, yeah, but at the same time, like,
that is
Quentin
you know
Tarantino.
what I'm saying? Denzel Washington as well. He did Fences. I'm pretty sure.
There's some interesting. Yeah, there actually are some pretty
So
interesting.
like
games.
once you like really get your foot in the ground, obviously you can do that. But being 33
Yeah, well, that's all I was
years
gonna say too.
old-
All those guys that did it are all established.
Yeah, being 33 years old is like
Like they say,
you
like
start,
I mean,
you starting young, but like you said, you also got to pick a lane.
and all those movies that you named too were later on in those people's careers.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
like
they did-
Fences came out 3 years ago.
That's how. Yeah, that's with him and
Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that was just a couple guys to name, and this was in 2019, so it definitely has been more. Like you said, Michael B. Jordan was also one of them.
because he directed Creed, right?
Yeah, Creed 3.
3.
They went through 3 different directors in 3 different films, unironically. So he probably got sick of that. Like, oh my god, I gotta keep going through that. I'm not
Like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it
fucking
myself.
if anybody know the character, it's got to be me, right? But moving on, like I said, we're very excited to see like how this plays out for him. But we will be seeing it. Eventually, we might even do a review on it. We'll have to see how the schedule goes, obviously, because anything can change. But for you, Damien, we got to talk about the other side. Jordan Peele, more notable name. A lot of people love him. Get some scrutiny here and there. How do you feel about Jordan Peele in general? You say you tune in.
I'm a big fan of Jordan Peele. I don't have anything negative to say about him. I didn't really expect him to become what he did.
Woke man, you're like a woke director.
Yeah, like I was expecting because the first thing I think of when I think of him is always Key and Peele.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
comedy,
that's a lot of people do too.
Just be funny, like you know what I'm saying, like so. And I could still watch that to this day. Like some of their sketches are just like timeless. Like they're just come on AA run, like, the classroom thing, like
the president dap up.
Yeah, like,
that's a meme forever. That's gonna be.
Like I said, like they got some sketch, like the one where he got the one gift where he's literally like sweating buckets, like water pouring out of him.
That's what.
Football
yeah,
intro
the football names. Like come on, dude. Like they got memorable clips because of that. So when he like broke out into the scene as like a director, I'm like, what the hell is like this? I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna make a comedy.
I swear.
Yeah,
but he did. Technically, he wrote and produced Keanu.
Yeah.
People were like, they didn't like that. And then when you get out, that's when it was like.
No, well, that's what I was gonna say is like like so when you get out, you're like, okay, maybe this is gonna be like a comedy, like you don't really know about it yet. And then he makes literally one of the best horror movies ever made.
Yes.
And then it's all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a minute, now what?
Yeah.
And but it's kind of leads into what I was saying earlier, where it's like he automatically set an unbreakable precedent for himself.
Yeah.
Like immediately, Get Out is critically acclaimed as one of the best horror movies ever made.
Yep.
So when you make that, all of a sudden it's like, well, damn, and that was in 2017. How do you follow that up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then he goes and he makes Us. Us was okay. It wasn't, but that's exactly what I'm saying with the Get Out thing, where it's like you weren't gonna make a movie better than Get Out.
Yeah.
Cool, idea. The actor, there were some really big actors in it. I know Winston Duke was in it. Lupita Nyong'o. Yep. Some big names in Get Out. Same thing as in Us. Get Out had what's his name, Daniel Kaluuya.
Yep.
I couldn't really name anybody else that's in it.
Lakeith Stanfield, I think.
Was he? Oh yeah. He plays
the first guy that gets
brainwashed.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Nope.
Yeah.
So I mean, and all those movies too. What's cool is that he doesn't follow the same.
Nope is the reason we didn't get Dan Kaluuya in Black Panther.
Yeah,
too, so.
exactly. And it's cool though because he doesn't. I mean, all his movies have very, very interesting concepts. So it's clear he's a horror director now. I mean, all his movies have a horror kind of theme to them. That he's not making just random movies anymore. That's what he likes to do. But yeah, I say I have all the respect for Jordan Peele. I know his next movie is not supposed to come out now till like next Christmas, or I think this Christmas, something like that. We'll see if he could top Nope. To me, Nope was probably his second best movie.
Yeah, I think Us is definitely my least favorite. The thing with Us for me, not to cut you off or anything, but the thing with Us for me was like, I feel like it got a little too complicated because when you talk about the underground, the underworld, and stuff like that, and like clones and stuff, like when you really get into that, like you got to be really, really, really specific.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was still kind of broad. And I was like, I don't want a longer movie, but when you have a lot of movie being a chase. And it's kind of like the horror side of it, like, and you're not really explaining it. Like, even if you don't explain it, leave it just be vague, and everybody else have their own opinion about it, then that's fine. But you also put it where you made it deeper. Like,
yeah, I think it hit like a middle ground where it's like you do have to pick a side, like you said. It's either you go in and you really explain why this underground is here, or you leave it so vague that everybody can just make up their own ideas. Yeah. And it kind of felt like he half explained it.
Yeah, he half
where
explained
he's like,
it.
it's like, okay, well, yeah, there's these people underground and they don't come out, but then this happened and it got switched.
Yeah.
And like the twist was cool, like finding out that like the mom this whole time was the clone from underground, and that the real version was the evil one this whole time. Like that's a cool twist. There were some cool ideas, but and then by the end of the movie, it's like, well, now what? Because they're all holding hands and everybody from underground is out. And it's like, well,
and they're like surrounding the entire world.
Yeah, it's like literally like a circle because like that's like the whole symbolism is like they're all like everybody's doubles. So it's another 7 billion people underground along with the people up top, and they're all killing their clones.
Yeah,
like I said, it was a cool concept, but the best parts of the movie are just more so the chase scenes, and you kind of leave all the background knowledge is like it's just there.
Yeah, like if like without the explanation and all that, like it's a very cool and different movie. It's like he takes the thing that Jordan Peele does, I feel like that is so good, is that he takes something that's like you don't think about every day. Like you might think about like, oh, they cloning us, like let's take it to a step further. Like they're not just
Yeah,
clones.
they're not even cloning us.
They're mimicking our entire movements.
Yeah.
They're like this guy, whoever underneath me is doing the exact
The
same
exact
thing.
same thing I'm
with
doing.
y'all two underneath the ground. It's like it's a scary,
Like it's such a
weird
cool
like
thing.
mirror dimension. kind
Yeah,
of thing.
that's what's cool about it. It's not even like it's like these are clones, but imagine if these clones just automatically existed.
Exactly,
Like, this has
yeah.
nothing to do with the government. Like the world
Uh-huh.
is just that crazy. Where
Yep.
like like the whole time there is like another side of a dark version of us. I guess you would say.
Mhm.
And that's something we'll talk about too. Like I said, because I do want to deep dive more into the other movies, but I don't want to keep extending what I'm talking about.
Yeah, y'all think he directed Get Out for real, or he got a ghost director?
Oh, I do think he directed Get Out.
No, I think he was working on that for years.
Yeah,
man. I think he
you
even
just
said
don't.
it.
Yeah, you don't make a movie like that on a whim.
Yeah, I think he even said he worked on it for a long time.
You just sparking it off your career like that.
It's,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
insane, man.
Ah.
He did so good on Get Out.
And that's
like,
what I say. Like for as good as it is, because like you'll always be remembered for that movie. Like I said, that's just like it sucks because every movie he makes now gets compared to that, and it shouldn't. And it shouldn't. It really
I just
shouldn't.
looked up like the Rotten Tomato score is 98%, but the first question is why was Get Out so good?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Why
like-
was it so good? I don't know. I can't really fucking.
And it's such
explain
and it's one of those movies too where it's so easy to rewatch
Because
like,
you find something new
every single time.
Yeah.
Like I say every time you notice a different little detail or something small, and all of a sudden it's like, damn, okay, I can just watch this again.
For you to mind, what's your favorite Jordan Peele film? I guess obviously, or what did you like? I guess most about Get Out because I feel like that is the consensus number one.
I ain't gonna lie. Now I'm not really like a horror like movie fan, so I would probably say the comedy of it was kind of funny.
And honestly, like you're not wrong though.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Comedy shit.
Dude.
There's so many funny moments. With
Yo,
it.
it
Stanfield bugging out maybe.
Yo, it was like not even that part, but like I want to say it was the part where like he's trying to take a picture of old girl. I think it was the girl, and she's like in the yard, and she like, y'all started crying up like, nah, bro, get the fuck out of there. And it's so funny because his friend is like, oh, bro, get out of there. Like he tried to explain to him why he got to get out
He's
of
the
there.
funniest part. His friend, the
Yo,
TSA agent.
funny, like it's funny, but it's like
Isn't
good
that the
ass
dude from
balance.
Eternals, like Ty Henry or whatever?
Yes, he's like literally in everything nowadays. But like that was when he like I feel like really blew up the most because like he showed his comedic side so much. Where like it's like
He
yo,
literally
this
told him
dude is
he's like
crazy.
you messed up messing with that white girl.
Uh-huh.
He's like, bro, like leave. Like you do not need to be out there, bro.
Yeah, the comedy aspect of that movie is like kind of like it's actually low key underrated because like nobody thinks about like his role, like the friend's role, but like consistently every time he called him was like, yo, like they like he said like he had no
Like, this not adding
connection,
up. Yeah,
like,
like, so, like,
and he couldn't
everything-
even charge his phone because every time he charged it, the one lady would take it off the charger and let it die. So stuff like that was always pretty funny too.
And I just feel like that concept is crazy too, because how do you even think of that concept? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like you were in some deep thought to like bring up between like hypnosis and him getting knocked into like the upside down basically.
Yeah,
and
that
then,
was do everything.
You know, and then like they're doing surgeries. They're literally replacing brains, so that you're putting an old white.
I thought
man
that
into,
was
like,
the most interesting part about the movie.
yeah, like and
because
like this whole time 'cause
nobody
you're, like,
thinks about it like that. Like, oh, that blind. Like, I think it was blind.
Yeah, well, they're literally auctioning off. That's why they're bringing these people here. They're
Yeah.
literally auctioning off their bodies.
And the first thing he said to him was like, he's like, you got a great pair of eyes.
Yeah, and it's a blind man.
Yeah,
And
but
it's a blind old
how
dude.
would he wouldn't know?
Yeah, it's
because he
crazy,
can't
like-
see. But he was told that this dude takes pictures, he's a photographer, and he has a good eye. He got good eyes for like certain things. It was like, well, he has good eyes for like the world, and those are eyes that's gonna work for me.
Exactly.
And it's like nobody's gonna think twice about him because they say he's just a random guy that they recruited through their families or the daughter of that family. And that was like a crazy ass twist too. When he goes through the box and he sees all the men that she was with.
Yeah, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh my goodness, that shit was that was kind of crazy because I'm like watching like I'm already like it's already out of hand. Like everything's already out of hand.
and you're like, the whole time you're sitting there, like, well, why are they all so weird? Like,
Dude, the
why is
fucking
every-
brother
Yes, bro. Like
was
they're
on
like.
time and the whole
Like
time.
why is everything they do like at first they seem so normal and then like as the movie goes on you're like damn they're doing some quirky ass stuff. Like,
Was
why
it
do they act
was
like
it the
that?
mom that was low key racist or was it like they all
I think the
obviously
mom.
racist?
I ain't
The
gonna lie,
mom was
like
the one-
saying,
the
like-
mom was definitely the one that made the most comments about it. She was the one that was doing the hypnosis.
She was,
Yeah.
the most, she was the most racist.
She was
She's
that-
giving off that energy.
And then the dad was kind of like playing cool, like
yeah,
oh,
the dad
she's
was
just-
the dad was the cool one the whole
yeah,
time.
she was
made it
like,
seem
oh,
it
she's
was
just
nothing.
like that, like oh, she didn't mean it or whatever. I was like, so like the brother was tweaking out too. Like I remember he came in like his eyes are like red underneath and shit. Like he's like scratching his eyes and like he got the bat and he's like getting mad. 'Cause he's like yo, like I want him to come with us to do whatever. Like he said they just wanted to come with us. He's like dude, can he just? And he like it's like no, not yet. That's what it was like no, not yet.
Yeah.
And then once he finally got to like obviously like basically take control of this man who cannot move his body. That's when he gets so excited he can't fucking control himself, and he ends up. I think he ends up. Is he the one that dies? I think he's the one that dies.
Like crack. He gets. I think because the dad gets stabbed by the bullhorns.
Uh-huh.
I think the brother gets cracked over the head with like the pool cue or whatever.
Yeah. They fought like 3 different times.
Yeah,
like he kept beating him.
I think he beats his head in like at the very end with it.
Yeah.
Or like we're with like a pool table cue or something like that.
Yeah, that shit was pretty cool. Also a Get Out, another meme. The guy.
Yeah, the guy running and towards angles. That's what I was gonna say earlier. I was like, you want to talk about comedy? Like that is the funniest thing ever, bro.
When people making a Get Out challenge,
running,
dude.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, he was running hard as hell and then switched. Like, first of all, stopped on a dime, switch thing. Like that's Barry Sanders out there. That's not
in
a
the combine. What are you doing What are you doing in this movie, bro?
And it's pitch black outside. Like, what are you doing?
Getting minimum wage. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
And then like as you slowly get into like he slowly like deeps dive, and this is another movie that's under 2 hours.
Yeah.
This is a fast movie,
but it's just like
There's
crazy
so
like how well he explains the idea.
There's not a
Get
bad
Out.
minute in this
No,
movie
it's
all.
not. Like I said, and it's really crazy thing about like I like to say like one of my favorite scenes is like when he is in like the upside down thing where he gets put in the most, it's him falling into like the void, and like he's watching stuff through his eyes, but he has no control over anything. And like they zoom out and he's got the tear coming down his face. Like it's a very memorable scene. It's like what a lot of the posters show is that picture of him, and like there's a lot of very memorable imagery in that. Or when they show, or he's watching like the old TV from like the 50s, and it's explaining how like when they first started doing all
like
these
the
like
full on family, and how they
like
were,
showing how they were first doing these procedures, and like that's why like the aunt and the gardener, gardener and the maid are the grandparents. And that's why they're acting so damn weird, because they're old people inside of these younger bodies. They don't know how to act.
What did she do? What did the aunt do? She was like
the maid was tweaking, bro. Like
she
the one she like stuttering hard as hell.
She did something crazy where I was in tears, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
bro, they were weird as fuck.
Like
the
she
whole
did
time.
something like really insane. It wasn't like the camera thing, but it was something else. And I was like, yo, is she off some shit right now?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why it's like the characters are so unsettling, because like I said, you just don't understand, and like that's why the twist I think works so well. Because when you do find out why they're acting like that, like you would have never guessed that's why they're acting like that. You thought they were just weird. Like, and then when you find out it's literally just not even that, or it's their consciousness fighting back against the other consciousness. It's like wow, okay.
Yeah, that's why I think, like you say, like you don't think about everything. You think of the grand scheme of thing. All right, he's with this white girl. The white girl saying he's racist. He's trying to get out. Yeah, that's what I think. But it's like it's so much underlying into everything. It's like it's so much deeper diving into like, I guess you could say the real like. All right, they're using people's like body parts, eyes. I guess even I think they brains even.
Yeah, so like,
I think even
some of them like
all of it was brain.
For the older people, like the old white people, they were literally like swapping bodies. Like entire bodies. So like it really just depended on what you needed. Or you know what I'm saying.
So that's what I thought was like really crazy. Like you said, like, they brought this thing in the 50s and they had like the full on family, but they're all still alive, be in other people's bodies. Like that's the goal. And they got to a point where they were so good at it that it was time for them to pass the legacy down and help other people. Like the blind guy was not a part of the family. He just came in. He had a lot of money.
Just helping other white people.
Yeah, because he had a lot of money. And then when they all obviously gather for like the dinner or whatever, or they're just outside and shit.
It was like the auction.
And and then you see Lakeith Stanfield and he's like off it. Like
it's a very memorable scene because he takes a picture of him, and as soon as he takes a picture of him, it's like that's where he realizes that his consciousness comes back. But
dude, he started tweaking the fuck out. Yo, that's like it's so memorable because like like I think his nose starts bleeding, and he's just sitting. He's like with the cup in his hand. I'm like, yo,
and then like he snaps back into it, and he starts like raging. They're like, yo, we gotta they like drag him away basically. Like no, he's off his medication.
And
like,
then he's yelling, "Get out!" Which is the entire.
I love when movies and shows.
This is us.
What?
Nope. That's very easy to do actually, but like we're in the end game now. It's definitely not a good one.
And it's funny too because like going back to Us, like Us was an okay movie, but to me it has like one of my favorite horror themes. They take 5 on it, which is like a classic obviously rap song. Dude. But they literally flip the beat backwards,
dude.
And it's
that's when I thought that was gonna be the best thing ever. When that came out the trailer, I was like, dude, it's gonna be the best.
It's got one of the best like horror themes ever. I could listen to that shit in the car. Like it's fine.
It's like, dude,
they literally take it's just such a classic song because it's like how the movie starts. They're literally riding in the car to their new house, listening to 5 on it. and then it flips, and that's the horror track when they're getting chased by the Upside Down family. Is that song playing in reverse, which is just a cool concept for the song, since that's basically what it is this upside down reversal.
Yeah, like the whole it's played throughout the movie like in reverse a lot. And I remember in the final scene where she's fighting herself. Like the big fight that was between each other, and the big fight itself wasn't great. It wasn't like the greatest of fights. But I thought the coolest thing about it was they were flashing back to how she was mimicking all her movements.
Yeah, like they're playing that song while she's doing it, like showing like her like as she's like growing up.
Yeah,
and
she's doing like the ballerina,
and that song's playing this whole time.
And it's like,
and she's using that to fight her.
And it's like that's the real her. Like the real her is down there, but like she's become mute now, but not too mute because she's the only one that can talk.
Yeah, that's why
she
her
can,
voice
she
sounds
can,
so
she
weird.
can
She
scratch
can
out
still
certain words, and that's why I was like, when she first started talking, I'm like, all right, obviously this is a twist on what happened with her family at the carnival. Obviously, now they're back in that area. Obviously, bringing up memories. She don't want to go back.
I haven't seen Us in quite a few years, but I'm almost saying that the ending is like kind of like up in the air too, because you don't know which mom survived.
No, the right mom, the mom from the underground world that her life became the real life, and like obviously she stays, but the son switches.
Okay, I knew there was like something like that at the end, where like something gets swapped out at the end
because. Well, I don't even think he technically switches.
Or maybe he realizes
he
that
burned.
his mom,
he gets burned, but he knows that something's wrong with his.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Is that he finally realizes
weird.
that his real mom is down underneath, and this mom that he has is like the fake one this whole time, basically.
For Us, Damon, do you remember any memorable moments from Us, comedy wise?
I actually did not watch that movie.
You didn't watch Us?
The funniest movie comedy wise is pretty easily when the white girl, she says it's the Alexa thing.
Yes.
And it starts
they were
playing.
Fighting that white family.
Yes. What song starts playing, bro? It's NWA.
Fuck the police.
Yeah, I think it is, because she's like, call it 911. And they're like, yeah, it's like now playing "Fuck the Police" by NWA.
And then they start getting fucking slaughtered to that shit.
Playing, bro. That's probably the fun. I will say Us goes away from the comedy pretty heavily. Us doesn't have
Us is very serious.
Yeah. Very,
besides when they were in that home,
they go very horror centric with Us compared to Get Out, because in Get Out, like I said, there's so many memorable like comedic moments. In Us, there's not much.
Yeah, that's like I said, but that's why I was thinking like when they were in that house, because they got fucking brutalized.
That's like I said,
as soon as that shit started playing, they started.
There might have been like little like funny parts like here and there, but as far as like memorable wise, like that's the most memorable is when they basically say Alexa call 911 and they start playing "Fuck the Police."
I think the dad had a funny moment in Baku. I think he had a funny moment because
he's too damn big, bro.
I think when he first realizes that they're standing outside and she tells him to go check on it.
Yeah, he does make a joke. Yeah.
He was not trying to go.
He's like, yeah, I'm not going out there, bro. Like you're bugging.
It's like he says something certain as like he's not as something as white people or whatever. That's basically what he's saying. Like he's not. Like that's not what I do. Like,
why would I go out there?
They'll go away eventually.
Basically, yeah. Like
then they start getting closer. And she's like, "Babe, they're getting closer." He was like, just go upstairs. Maybe by that point, they're surrounding the house. You know what I'm saying? At that point, they're surrounding.
And it's like I said, it's all four of them because it is the complete upside down side. So
yeah, but we really start realizing that the underworld like mimics them, because I think one of the fights was obviously the daughter. Like she was a runner, and she's running away from herself. But the other one is like just sitting there waiting. She's like cracking her bones. She gets on all fours and she just starts fucking trotting.
And it's, like that's the thing too that sucks about like the fact that like the story doesn't hit as hard as it should, because all the ideas were just so cool.
It is like you can do a two-parter to that. Honestly.
Yeah, like the whole story and the whole idea of like you having basically an alter ego.
Yeah,
that copies everything, but it's just like the dark version of you. It's just such a cool concept. It just sucks that it didn't land as well as it probably should have. You know what I'm saying? Because like there are, like the bones cracking and like said, like in it's how like eerie it is to see yourself. You know what I'm saying? But it's not you.
Yeah, it's like they like you know my every move. Like you've been studying your whole life is my life.
You can't outsmart somebody that is you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's like I said, it's some cool things to us. I said just like, excuse me, when you get into like the real, I guess, underlying story,
it's just when it gets sloppy.
Yeah, like when they try to really explain it, and like they have it the mother explain it with scratchy voice. It's hard to understand her, and then you start getting into like towards the end, it's like, bro, they just did a whole chase for like 35-40 minutes, and now they go back to explain it. It's like at that point, I just want somebody to either die or stay, like I said, one of them to die.
The explanation comes literally as the twist is happening.
Yeah,
like it's the mom explaining the twist that shows you exactly what's going on the whole time, and that's it.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Pretty good stuff in Us. I don't remember. I don't think I watched Nope.
I don't think you did either.
I don't think I did.
I
I
went
thought
with.
I tried to. I think one time after I watched Get Out, and I fell asleep because like back to back. It was about
Yeah, it's a
4
lot.
hours of my
yeah,
time.
It's a lot.
Couldn't do it. I think it was around like it was that snowstorm around that time. I was gonna watch it, and I was like, nah, I'm not even gonna watch
I went and seen Nope in IMAX with my sister and her girlfriend, and I
I
really
think-
liked
I
it.
think
To
you
me,
said
it was
you
my
liked it a
second
lot.
favorite
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, he's not gonna top Get Out, unfortunately. It's just not gonna happen. But you just, Nope was really good to me. I know a lot of Nope got more hate, I think, than Us did.
it. Nope got a lot of hate. A lot of people did not like.
Yeah,
Nope.
I think Nope was just kind of one of those things where it was gonna divide people no matter what, because it is a slow movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's a long movie and it's slow. I mean, for the build up. But I feel like just going off of like what the story is like, I like the kind of split story. You get Stephen Yeun, you get Daniel Kaluuya, you get Keke Palmer.
That's why I wanted to watch. I was like, this is probably
the
his. I
cast
think
is
it's his
really
most
good.
versatile cast. I would
Yeah,
say.
and like, I mean, when you do start to see like what's going on, I mean, it is a very interesting movie. I mean, it's an alien.
Yeah.
They think it's a UFO, but it's literally an alien. Like the alien is just in the shape of a UFO.
Yeah.
So when it's abducting things, it's not abducting them; it's eating them. And so this whole time, like Stephen Yeun, like was on a TV show as a kid, and like they had a chimpanzee on. The chimpanzee goes crazy, and like there's like he keeps all this memorabilia from the show, including the shoe that got left behind after this chimpanzee massacred one of its co-stars. And like he's basically and he charges people to come to this room. So basically, Stephen Yeun's just taking advantage of like negative situations for money.
Yeah.
So like when he finds out that there's this alien in this thing, he puts out a horse to draw it out. And this alien comes, and it is one of the most uncomfortable movie scenes I've ever watched. This alien comes and it takes them, but it shows you like what happens as it like takes the humans into it. It is like uncomfortable. Like if you watch the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're basically watching the humans like, and they're still full, like they're not getting crushed or anything, like they're getting sucked up a damn suction tube. And all you hear is like the noises and the screams and all that, and like it's super zoomed in. It's so uncomfortable and it's claustrophobic. It's horrifying to watch it.
Yeah.
And like that's what they're showing you this whole time. And basically like so Stephen Yeun basically gets like 40 people killed because he's trying to show off this alien because he knows it exists, which is just showing you like, and there are real people out there like that when they run those shows out in the middle of the desert where it's like they're taking advantage of. It's kind of almost like a freak show.
Yeah.
People with disabilities and people like stuff like that, like you're showing them off for money gain, and it's wrong, and you get what you deserve because you do that.
Yeah.
And Daniel Kaluuya is basically just trying to like save his farm. Like that's his big thing. But like it's one of those movies, like I said, you do have to watch it because trying to explain it is a lot, but it's basically just an alien movie.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it, and I remember never going back to it at that time. So like we were snowed in, so I was like, might as well watch all his movies, obviously. And I was gonna wait to watch Us after.
I would say of like of all the movies of the movies he's made, Nope is probably the hardest to explain.
Yeah.
Because it goes into such a deeper topic. When you're bringing up aliens and stuff like that, then you're like, they don't go obviously into like the origin of it because they don't know the origin of it. But there's a lot of like background knowledge and stuff like that with the characters that you have to know about, and it kind of just plays into it. But Nope, I did really like a lot. Nope, I received it pretty well, and it was shot view. Like watching in IMAX, I think is what made it.
Yeah,
even
made
better.
it crazy.
And I only watched it the one time because it was in IMAX. I haven't rewatched it.
Did you watch Nope?
No, I never watched no.
What do you watch, man?
No. Didn't it came out like 2022, right?
Yeah, it came out 2
to-
years ago.
What was you doing, dude?
I don't know what I was
I
doing.
was on a
2022,
game,
bro.
man. We was on a game in 2022. So.
I would say if you guys found time and you guys,
I mean, it's
had
under 2
nothing to
hours
do-
too. I think.
I think it's like just over, or like with credits, it's like just over.
Yeah. So for I remember all the criticism that he did get. Like this made money.
Yeah.
He almost tripled his budget, as all his movies have made money. But all the I guess criticism is like that's we were like maybe he should go away from the woke stuff.
Yeah.
And at the time it was like right after COVID. Obviously, a lot of conspiracy theorists came out of COVID, and I was like, well, he wrote this during COVID.
Yeah, and
It was it's supposed to resonate with the time.
And that's why I think that, like I said, that's why I don't even want to try to explain it.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that could be explained. Because there's so much there is some stuff like that in the movie where he like kind of brings up like his family, like they're like their grandpa was like the first black filmmaker or like the first black man like to ride a horse on screen.
Yeah.
So like a lot of that plays into it, and it's like the black and white divide, and in filmmaking and in movies and all that. And obviously, it's him as being a black director.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there's a lot of stuff like that, and people get uncomfortable when they start to bring up stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think like that's why like that's like a big part of the movie. And like I said, and then Steven Yeun, I mean, I know he's Asian, but that kind of plays into it where you got this black family trying to make an honest living as farmers and raising animals, and then this carny is 2 miles down the road, and he's making money off of their land and stuff because of what he has.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm a Steven Yeun fan, obviously. So like,
Steven Yeun was great in it. I mean, like he plays the role too. It's not even that like he is a villain, but like once what happens, you're like, damn, that was so avoidable. Like he just plays like he's just an idiot.
Yeah,
and he's just trying to get as much money out of as he can. Like he like has like his like I think it's his kids or something like that. Like they dress as aliens and like they go and like scare Daniel Kaluuya like into thinking that like they're real aliens this whole time. Like and you think they're real because nobody tells you this.
Yeah,
and you're like, damn, those are like, oh, these are what the aliens look like. Like then the whole twist is that the ship is the alien.
Yeah,
like
I think I remember seeing that as like they fear what they're like. What they don't know.
Yeah, but that's basically what it is. And like when you see the aliens like real shape at the end, like the UFO was just like a quick way for it to move around because it's slim.
Yeah.
But at the very end, like it turns into like this giant like square looking thing, and like it's historically accurate, or not historically, biblically accurate to how an angel would look.
Yeah.
Like when the Bible shows drawings of angels and stuff like that. So and then it kind of gets into like that religious kind of aspect of it. Like there's a lot of really weird like tough themes in the movie.
Yeah, that's why I think like people were saying like, all right, you probably should maybe go away from it, obviously, and like I said, like it was right after COVID.
You wrote it during COVID. It's like in the world,
yeah,
too, everybody was sensitive about everything.
Everything was like too much.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like maybe just the timing was wrong for this movie. I don't think. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think Jordan Peele makes bad movies or nothing. I do think that is an acquired taste. I think a lot of people will watch it and they'll always have an opinion about it, which is always, I feel like, a good thing. Like if you can just to talk about a movie anyway is obviously a good thing.
And like I said, I do think like as far as like from a film, I do think Nope is like the most well-made movie he's made. But obviously you would expect that after 7 years of making films.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
but like to me like I think that the pacing is good. I think like there's like some very like I said, there's some very memorable moments. Like there's there's like a really cool shot where, like I said, that UFO or the alien eats all these people, and the thing about the alien is that it won't attack you unless you see it.
Yep.
So like if it's sitting above you, it won't acknowledge you. But if you look up, so like there's like the scene like how we were talking about like I love when they say the name of the movie.
Yep. And then they look up. I feel they say no. It's even in the trailer. I'm pretty sure.
Like he's like literally in the truck and like it's raining and it's pouring. And all of a sudden like the rain stops. He like peeks out his window and he sees it. And he's like nope. Gets back in the car.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, and like like there's like very memorable scenes. Like I said, like all and the thing is with this is like the alien, it has to expunge out the stuff that it can't digest. So there's like a scene where it rains down like bones and blood because it can't digest that.
Yeah.
And like covers the house in blood. There's like a scene where like a guy gets hit by a coin because it expunges out all this stuff that it can't digest. So there's some crazy ass. There's a lot of memorable moments in the movie where you're like, damn, like where did you think of that?
Yeah.
They get like a random filmmaker to come help them like prove that this alien exists. And like I think it's almost kind of like an analogy for like Jordan Peele because he goes out of his way to get the best shot and do like the best thing possible.
What does these horses like represent? I keep seeing horses when I look.
Well, because like I said, his family, that's their whole thing. His family raises horses. Like his grandfather or his like father's grandfather, they were like the first ever like they're not black horse owners, but like they were like the first black men to ride horses on film. So like they rent out their horses to like movie studios, to TV studios. So like the horses you see on like TV, that's this family's horses.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to look and see what his next movie would be, but it is Christmas 2024, but it doesn't say a name.
I think it got delayed again though because
because
at the very end of this year, Robert Eggers, who's another big horror director, he's dropping Nosferatu. Which is like
the only name I've seen on here was Nosferatu.
Yeah, Nosferatu is that's like the original vampire story other than like Dracula, and that's coming out at the end of this year. So I think Jordan Peele said, no, I'm not going to compete with you on that. So I think I don't know if he moved back a full year. It might have been maybe a few months.
Probably, yeah, because I said what I was looking at was not.
But I do know I definitely know it got delayed.
Yeah, because I had to play Bulletproof, so I couldn't be.
Yeah, I don't blame you though.
They should have had you.
I gotta watch Invincible because I don't know what happened after that first episode.
No, right though, but for his producer roles, just want to glance over a couple things. Black Klansman.
Have you ever seen Black Klansman?
Nah, I never seen Black Klansman. Actually,
That's actually a funny movie.
Yeah,
John David Washington and Adam Driver. Adam Driver plays a racist man very well.
Is that the famous clip?
Yeah, like you spear chucking. Yeah,
that was not. The script, man.
I forget because I bought the movie because I thought it was that funny. It was like I think that Adam Driver's like an undercover police officer, and he has to join the KKK to infiltrate them, and like John David Washington's I think his partner.
Yeah,
and bro, it's crazy because they make Adam Driver do some crazy shit in that movie, bro. He's so racist.
Shout out Adam Driver, man. Noticeable face when he did that. I was like, that's
he committed to that role. He committed to that role heavily, man.
Candyman, which was
I didn't see the remake,
film.
but I did hear it was good.
Yeah, I heard good things about that. Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul.
Nope.
Never watched that, but I think is that who I think it is. Oh yeah, Sterling K. Brown is in it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Wendell and Wild. I think that's an animated film. It is. Yep. So a lot of horror or comedy based roles, or for him at least. If this next movie for him is as good, should we be talking about him as one of the best directors? I feel like he already is in that conversation, but I feel like obviously like people always want, like I said, you compare everything to Get Out, but it's like after a while it's like now you're making more films. All right, like we can maybe steer away from.
Yeah,
Get
I
Out,
feel like
because only 3 right now. So
yeah, I feel like once he makes like 4 or 5, you kind of have to stop comparing to that first.
Yeah, because like
because how fair is that? Because Martin Scorsese made I think Martin Scorsese made Goodfellas. Like you keep comparing everything to Goodfellas.
You
forever,
can't. You probably shouldn't because it's not fair to him and it's not fair.
Because Goodfellas is one of the best movies ever made. So how do you keep comparing everything he makes to that?
Yeah.
Am I comparing Killers of the Flower Moon to Goodfellas?
No,
probably not.
Because it wasn't good.
So, I mean, I do think he's already in that director's conversation. Yeah. He's a very noticeable name. When his name's attached to him, people want to go see it.
Yeah.
If his next movie is as good as everything else he's made, then I think he kind of catapults himself into like that very small group.
Yeah, like we were saying, like one of the things I always say is like Chadwick Boseman was headed into that conversation.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I mean,
the Denzel Washingtons, the Will Smiths.
Denis Villeneuve is already he's like the newest director to enter that stratosphere.
Who is?
Denis Villeneuve. He made Dune 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
Made Blade Runner 2049. He made Arrival. He made there's another one I'm missing. He has like his last like 5 or 6 movies are like outrageous.
That's actually ridiculous.
No, yeah. If you could pull up his filmography,
I'm trying to know,
his last like 5 or 6 movies are all like hits. Like he's in that next director. He's in that director name now. Where like if Jordan Peele could make another 1 or 2 great movies like that,
Prisoners is his. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like it's Prisoners.
They ranked that 8. Ooh, that's kind of nuts. I ain't gonna lie.
What is it? Prisoners, Arrival, Blade
Sicario.
Runner, Sicario. Oh, dude, the original Sicario is crazy too.
He has a movie called Enemy.
And, that's with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay, yeah, Blade Runner is 4, doing his 3rd. Polytechnique.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, 2009, and Arrival is number 1. They say.
Yeah, Arrival is considered like his best movie.
Did I watch Arrival?
That's with
Amy Adams.
Yeah, Amy Adams. It's another alien movie, but it's like that's a crazy movie. Arrival is definitely his probably. I mean, most people say that Arrival is his best movie.
Yeah.
That and Blade Runner 2049 are like considered his best.
He's definitely in that conversation with that kind of direct.
Yeah, when your last 5 or 6 movies are those movies that we just named, I mean that's.
Yeah, to get into that conversation, like I said, one of the few things I always say, like with Chadwick Boseman, like now I'm kind of on the trans, like, all right, who's gonna be the next guy? I was hoping to be Jonathan Majors, obviously not looking.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have an actor that's up and
that's
coming
like going
right now.
into. I said like for actor wise, like right now, like I feel like we're gonna be waiting a little bit. But for director wise, I mean Jordan Peele should definitely be on his way to that conversation, like the very like.
And you know, and what's funny too is that like I mean Jordan Peele's not like an indie guy, obviously, but like he'll always have a fan base.
Yeah.
Like, even if he doesn't make it to that stage.
Yeah, that's the good thing about him.
Like I said, it's like he'll always have like that fan base where like they're gonna love him regardless. You know,
he's still taking roles like in like animation movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
like he's everywhere right now.
So he's always gonna have something going on. You know what I'm saying? Like even if God forbid his next movie is like a failure. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't live up to the expectations he set with his first 3. He's still gonna be Jordan Peele at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how I look at it. Like, I mean, that's how I like think. Like, maybe if he can get to more, like, because when you make the kind of movies that he does with the themes that he does, it's like realistically, there's always going to be a good percentage of people that don't like it, think you went too deep, think you're always bringing up race or always bringing up a deeper meaning. Some people just want to watch a good movie without all the extra stuff, and I get that. Sometimes you do, but like if it's not your kind of your cup of tea, I guess I should say.
But my thing is too is that like usually the trailers show you if it's your cup of tea or not. You know
yeah,
what
that's what I'm saying. It's like how could you look at the trailer of Get Out, Us, or Nope and be like I want to see it look like a regular movie? No, it doesn't.
No, like the trailers do a very good job of showing you that this is like anything but a normal movie. Like he doesn't hide his movies behind some like crazy like trailer effect where it's like, oh, I don't show you anything, and then you're gonna show up and it's gonna be some random BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I don't see like because I'm looking like the best director of all time, and like I like just to get some extra names like Steven Spielberg. Like I don't see him like in that upper echelon.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm talking about all time, but like as of today, like even like Christopher Nolan is like in that top 10 of all time for me.
Yeah,
but like
no, yeah, I don't think he'll ever reach.
Take so long to get.
He won't. He probably won't ever hit like he will never be like a Spielberg or a Scorsese or Nolan.
Like
or
a David Fincher, I feel like is like.
Yeah, I mean David Fincher was also like a big thing too. Like, so it's like I mean there is like it's hard to reach like that top 10 status because all your movies have to be like outrageous. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think just with the kind of movies that he makes, he just won't. Plus, when you're a horror director, that kind of makes it even harder. To be honest, like horror is a very popular genre, but there's a reason horror movies don't get acknowledged at Oscars or at BAFTAs or anything like that. It's just not a category that people are voting for or care about.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Which I don't agree with. I do think horror. I've seen horror performances from actors and actresses that were out by far better than what I've seen get performed at some of these movie shows or some of these like movie award shows.
I feel like those are like damn near the hardest ones. Like,
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, like I've seen some insane horror roles where I'm like, damn, how did they not get some type of
even a nomination?
Yeah, like I say a nomination be cool. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the horror genre in general, when it comes to stuff like that, gets completely shit on by the award committee.
Because like I said, like even looking at the actors, I guess you say Timothy Chalamet, like is probably the next up.
He's probably like
I feel like I won't say next up, like he's already here.
Yeah,
like to get into.
Like he just signed like a multi-year like deal with Warner Brothers.
Like he's going to be in every year he's going to have a movie out.
I would say honestly, Dune is probably what put him on that track because
yeah, for sure.
The first Dune came out, I think that was 2019. After that,
yeah,
I think that's he was even
track. In is it Interstellar? He's
the son.
Interstellar. Yeah, like he's worked with some of the best directors there is to work with.
And I feel like it is just such an easy actor to work with too. I mean, obviously I don't know him, but it's a name. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows him, and he also fits a demographic.
Yes. I
mean, girls love him. They're gonna. I mean, if a girl sees the name attached, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta go see that."
Yeah.
You know, regardless of what the movie is. Like, come on. I mean, like he got cast as Willy Wonka.
Like Willy Wonka got shit on, but like nobody cared because.
Yeah, but I say like it might have got shit, but I never heard like it. But afterward, it was like, yeah, this movie's shit. It just got left there. Yeah, it doesn't continue to get dragged. Yeah, it doesn't continue to get dragged because it's just like whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's. Yeah, just trying to find that next.
You know what movie I'm surprised you didn't bring up. Actually, now that we're talking about it, is Challengers with Zendaya. She's the tennis, the tennis prodigy.
Is that coming on next week?
Yeah, she just had like the
The only reason I didn't is because like looking at it, it's like like am I gonna really enjoy it? Like I do like Zendaya, like I do think she's great, but like this is like I feel like this is just something to just get away from, because realistically, her last few projects is just Spider-Man, Euphoria, and then. I think Dune. She's in Dune too.
Yeah, it's all big franchises. Yeah, she doesn't have anything by itself.
So I would hope that she works on
Euphoria's
things.
Done for, man.
I think they said there's no
producer.
They
told their people to like go do some other shit.
Yeah, they were like it got delayed. They said it got delayed indefinitely. They said they told all the actors to just go find new work.
Like, go do some other shit, bro.
They probably put on like your slide.
Yeah, but the thing is though, you gotta think all the main actors and actresses from Euphoria, like the main like top 5. Are all in movies or TV shows right now. Going forward.
Yeah.
Jacob Elordi did Priscilla and he did Saltburn, which were big. Zendaya. She's in Spider-Man. She's returning for Spider-Man 4, according to the leaks. Yeah. She's obviously in Dune. Who else is in that? Sydney Sweeney obviously is like one of the biggest actresses on the planet right now. She's doing a movie like every other week now.
I wonder why.
Yeah, right.
Because people like you, all right? It's because people like you.
People like me and Mike Pareto.
That's the only actor he knows. Only motherfucker he knows. Only motherfucker he know about. My
yeah,
face.
like I mean, and then I would say probably the fourth is probably like Hunter Schafer, and she's in a movie that's about to come out. So I mean, there's some. They've all gone on to be successful from Euphoria. So even if they don't get Euphoria back, I don't think it's hurting their pockets any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to look at like some of the top actors. Just looking like I could see like they got like this Ranker website has.
I hate Ranker. Dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has like Ryan Gosling 31.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's already been a big actor though.
Yeah, like Edward Norton. And so they just put people in. Like I gotta vote him up right now, and he'll probably go up. Like, like it just that's basically how it works. But look like I was trying to think of like people that we thought were next up. Like, let's be honest, man. Tom Holland. What's going on?
No, you know what? No, I'm not gonna. Tom Holland isn't the problem. His agent is the fucking problem.
I agree. I do agree.
I don't think Tom Holland's a bad actor.
He's went as far. I think even take a Broadway, not a Broadway, but like a musical role. I did see him in a. He's gonna.
But I think there's two things. His agent is not doing him any favor because the roles he's accepting he shouldn't be accepting.
Yeah.
But it's also just the fact that Hollywood fell in love with him because he was Spider-Man.
Yep.
I mean, like
I ain't gonna lie, the Uncharted one, the Uncharted casting.
We're not gonna talk about that, man.
Like,
Nathan Drake, you're my Nathan Drake. I don't know about that,
bro. Nathan Fillion's my Nathan Drake.
I don't know about that, bro.
That's where I kind of like.
He just got
like,
cast in another
bad,
movie. He literally just got
you,
cast in a movie today. It's like a retelling of like West Side Story or something like that. Like not a remake of West Side. It's something like that. It's like a West Side Story inspired movie.
Thomas.
He just got casted today. I just saw the thing this morning.
No way.
Man, he told me something. If I be Spider-Man at the age of 30, I'm fucking up. Shit, you gonna be a fuck up then, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you gotta sit there and you gotta eat that,
fuck
bro.
Up.
Fuck up then, bro. The way you moving,
if that's the case, give it to me then.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, give it to me.
You gotta eat that
You
one,
be a
bro.
fuck up, man. At that rate.
I'm trying to see if I can find.
Because Spider-Man might be his saving grace by the time he's 30.
Damn near. What the fuck going on?
I couldn't tell you the last movie that like Tom Holland did where I was like, damn, that was good. Like that wasn't a Marvel movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard.
And he's been in a lot of movies.
And I don't think he's a bad actor or nothing. I just think
the roles he takes are horrible.
I think he is a certain role kind of guy too, though.
Yeah.
Like he is still pretty young. It's not like, but you did also work with you're working with some pretty good actors. I'm sure your name is brought up in conversations. Obviously, it just sucks that like I said, like Uncharted.
I think that also hurts him though, man. When you're getting
he did an Apple movie, a movie on Apple too. I forgot.
He was in a TV show on Apple too.
Was it a TV show?
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
But
called.
it always
Man,
hurt. But it also probably doesn't help him that he is with such good actors because it kind of shows that he's maybe not what.
That is true because that is a very real thing. I forgot who do they say does that. I forgot who it was, but it was like very, very interesting. Oh yeah, I think it was actually me and you. We talked about Christian Bale.
Oh yeah,
it was like he like rarely is he the standout of a movie.
Yeah, like he's an amazing actor, but he always gets cast in like insane like roles where he's surrounded by insane talent.
He's like, and it's like not saying he's bad or anything, but it's like he's usually
like
not
those
the best
Batman movies. Like those Batman movies, he was like very rarely the best actor,
or even in a scene, like
yeah.
even in the best.
That's what I'm saying. Like in those movies, like he was constantly surrounded by somebody that was like outdoing him at some point in time. I mean, in the first one, he had Liam Neeson and Cillian Murphy, and then in the second one, he had Heath Ledger, and then in the third one, he had to deal with Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hardy is Bane. Like, all right, man.
You talking about The Crowded Room? Is that the one you talking about?
I think that's what it was.
On
Yeah,
Apple TV. Yeah, the series has received negative reviews from critics.
Yeah, dude, he got like fucked in the bathroom.
Bro.
Yo, it was crazy.
Yo, you know
yeah,
you know what's crazy? I did see that. There was somebody was like, "No, Thomas."
Yeah, like, there's no way they let
said
Tom take
no,
this role.
Tom.
Yes.
It was like no. It was like no,
Like, bro.
Tommy, no. Like, what am I seeing? They're like, yo, what are you doing?
Nah, bro, it was bad. It was bad. I was like, I didn't watch the show, but when that scene went out on Twitter, I was like, yeah.
They said he tried to spin back for what Zendaya was doing with the threesome.
They was like,
Oh,
this show Get Back. This show Get Back. I'm like, that can't be a
It's a
Get
bad
Back.
Get Back, bro.
What y'all doing, bro?
I don't know what's good with bro, but I mean, they said Cherry was like the bright spot of Cherry. That
Oh, you want to know what role he did? No, you want to know? Okay, you know what? Because now that you say that, that's reminded me. The best movie he did that wasn't Spider-Man was The Devil All the Time from Netflix.
Was
I think was it called The Devil All the Time?
Yeah,
It was something
The
like
Devil
that.
All the Time.
Yeah.
Who was that with?
That was Robert Pattinson.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Robert
That makes
Pattinson
sense.
was like the preacher, and he was
Okay.
like a pervert.
Yeah, yep. I
But
remember seeing it.
Tom
yeah.
Holland was like the lead role of the movie, and
Yeah.
he was great in that movie. That movie got really good reviews.
Yeah,
But that was like the only movie he did that,
that
was
they
Spider-Man.
said that they're I literally look at it right now. Praise the performances of Holland and Pattinson, but
Yeah.
were critical of the film's length and dark tone.
Yeah, because it was a dark movie.
Yeah.
But that's like the only movie I could think of that Tom Holland did outside of like Marvel, where that was like
Like
well
he's
reviewed.
getting, I feel like he's more or less getting just bad movies in general. Like you said, like it's an agent thing. Like if this like the script is not calling out to you and it's like it doesn't feel right, it's okay to
He's just
say,
accepting
yeah, bro,
roles
you're
because of his name. He's
bro,
popular.
you're literally Spider-Man, bro. You're going to have a movie all the time. You're always going to have a role. You're always going to have a fan base. People
Which
are
is
going to
big,
love
but it's
you
just
no matter
shocking too, though, because Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire didn't go that route.
At all.
They both made very
Yeah.
good movies after they were done being
what.
Spider-Man.
Andrew, let's say this. Andrew Garfield is him.
Yeah.
He has a crazy range of acting.
I mean,
he is so fucking
Andrew
good.
Garfield's best movie probably came out before Spider-Man, though.
Yeah.
Social Network.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield is
Yeah,
him.
Andrew Garfield's best movie probably
He's
came
him.
came out way before he was even Spider-Man. So that's
Uh-huh.
crazy to think about. And Tobey Maguire went on to make like he was in Great Gatsby. He was in I know Babylon was really good. I mean, no people didn't receive Babylon well, but he was good in Babylon. He did a couple other Prisoners or not Prisoners,
No,
Brothers.
brothers.
Yeah.
I think Brothers was really overrated.
It was overrated.
Yeah,
but
it's
he
just
did
those
act.
two scenes that he's really like
Yeah.
really good in.
But they say when they do let him be good in the movie.
Yeah, well, he was allowed to flex, obviously,
Yeah.
like his acting chops. But like, to go back to what you said, Damon, Tom Holland is 27, and he turns 28 on June 1st.
Shit.
So he gonna be a fuck up because there ain't no
We're not
Spider-Man
getting
movie coming out
Spider-Man
this
4
year.
till next year.
Exactly. So you're gonna be 29,
29
being
with
Spider-Man. Like, there's no
Spider-Man
way they're
4
gonna kill you off, bro. You're all
They're not
right.
gonna kill you off, bro.
If you're gonna fuck up like that, then fuck up.
Well,
like
no,
that.
there's no way because they already said that he's the main character of both the Avengers movies.
Exactly.
He's
If
the
you're-
main.
yeah,
He's
if-
the
if
main.
that- if that's
he's the main
fucking up,
POV
then
of
let me
both
fuck
Avengers
up.
movies. So
then.
he's gonna be Spider-Man until he's like 35.
Yeah, and he won't look old.
he
as
won't
shit,
look- yeah,
though.
but I mean,
and
I
I don't
don't
think
think-
they'll have him in high school forever.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
either.
saying. By that point, Spider-Man will probably be in his mid-20s, so it'll work
I
anyway.
say he already in college in the
Yeah.
after the end of the last movie.
Yeah.
You probably got to bring Miles in because again, you don't want to be a fuck up. Somebody else got to be Spider-Man.
No, they'll definitely
MCU
bring-
suck, so like he gonna go down with MCU. Like
Exactly.
Look at
How
him,
good is it for him to
bro,
still be at MCU right now?
like, I
Like,
mean,
be
look
like
at
the
him,
main
bro.
face MCU, but like even like we also thought that he would be the main face of MCU right now, and like they can't make him that because he's still part of Sony. Obviously, like his name is
Yeah.
more attached to Sony than it is to Marvel, and that's why they make Kamala Khan obviously the face of it. She's younger. Obviously, you got all
It
the
don't
rights
matter.
to her.
All it's quiet for everybody once X-Men come in because X-Men 97 right now is doing numbers that Marvel has not gotten since like.
I haven't been able to catch up on it,
Phase.
but
I
I
watched the first
need
two.
to.
Bro, that shit brought in like 5 million viewers in the first 4 days.
Dude, it was that first episode was really
Yeah, like
good.
people are like obsessed with it. They said like X-Men 97 has got like the most like it had like 5 or 6 million viewers by now, and they said that the old one like from the original like the 90s,
Yeah.
their viewership went up like 600%.
Yeah.
So like the X-Men will be the saving grace of the MCU when they show up because the X-Men fan base, it doesn't even matter if they butcher them at this point. You put the X-Men name on a movie in the MCU and everybody's gonna go see it.
Yeah, and then the animation is so good.
Yeah. Well,
I
they just
love it.
blend 2D and 3D well together,
Yeah.
which is weird. And because it kind of looks like What If, but like a more defined. What
Yeah,
If, if
it
that
looks
makes sense.
it looks very different, and it's very cool in general because you get all these characters that we never got in the live action movies, like characters that you could actually
Morph.
get some depth to. Like, dude, I'm Morph. I don't care. Morph funny as shit.
Morph and Cyclops probably get the best treatment in the movie because Cyclops got shit on in every live action version.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
X-Men.
Like when it's funny because like Wolverine is very against Cyclops. Obviously, they don't like each other. Obviously, because Jean, and he was he's like like Morph is like mocking like, oh, I'm Jean. I'm getting married to the most bored man in the world. And like that was like he was like you're damn right. Like he's like he's the most bored man in the world. You're absolutely right. But I like the tone of the show in general. As you said, like the fact that X-Men is getting all those ties now. It's like once they officially go to X-Men and Fantastic Four and all the bigger names, it's like Sony, you're gonna have to produce a good movie. To
that's
make
really and it doesn't
Spider-Man
help that
worth it.
every time Sony does something with the Spider-Man name attached. Well, not attached in the Spider-Man universe, it
Yeah.
flops.
yeah, and it's-
Madam Web was a failure. The first two Venom movies were. I mean, the first Venom movie wasn't horrible. The second one was considered a failure.
Yep,
You got Venom 3 coming out at the end of this year. If that doesn't work, that's a failure.
he's supposed to be in there, right? Tom Holland,
Who
technically.
knows? I think they said that like they want to tie it in somehow, but then like the MCU has like a whole thing where they don't want to bring him in. They want to just keep it like a street level Spider-Man story, and it's like I don't know what they want to do. I think
they brought Venom in the end of the last. Spider-Man.
well, yeah,
if his name gonna be tied to this bullshit all the time, man, he's never gonna break out. Unfortunately,
but I just don't even think that Venom is gonna be like a big thing in the MCU. I think they'll only have the symbiote suit. I don't see like the character of Venom being in the MCU because of how Sony did it. Because what are you gonna do? Are you gonna use Venom for 3 movies in the Sony universe and then kill him off and then bring him into the MCU?
We're gonna be tired of him at that rate.
Because then who's gonna play Venom? Because that's what I'm saying. 'Cause then who's gonna play Venom in the MCU? Are you gonna really like? It's the same thing with
57-year-old Tom Hardy. Because by the time we get three of those shits, it's gonna be fucking 2030.
Hold on, bring in Pedro Pascal. Fuck it, throw him out
he played Venom and he played.
bro.
They're gonna be like, I mean, if we don't know who to put in, just throw Pedro Pascal in.
Throw him in there.
That's what I'm gonna start doing. Like, if I don't know what to do, I'm like, man, I'm friends with Damon Crit. Like, he's like, oh shit, like you him.
Yeah, it's definitely like that. I will say that probably is really hurting Sony right now. I feel like Marvel should be able to leverage that somehow. Mm-hmm. Like, Sony can't do shit right with the Spider-Man license. Like nothing. Yeah. They've done nothing right with it since they've it's like they butchered Andrew Garfield. They butchered Spider-Man 3. They've butchered everything that they've tried to do in like the universe. So at some point, it's like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
like, am I supposed to be hyped about Kraven the Hunter? Probably not.
It is sad because who's it? Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Like the movie, the trailer looked good, but all the trailers for those movies look good, and then they have the worst scores.
Like he's ever gonna get a real chance to do anything good ever? Like,
and then it's like, you can't bring Tom.
He has a look that he could be like a star, but
yeah, I mean, Aaron Taylor Johnson. The best thing he's done for me is Godzilla and Bullet Train.
Yeah, Bullet Train he was in. Yeah, but it's like. Fuck, it's like, but unfortunately, like you get tied to that movie. It's like, good luck finding anything. I mean, he's in what'd you say, Nosferatu?
Is he in Nosferatu coming out?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I
know that cast is crazy because I know Bill Skarsgård's playing Nosferatu.
Yep,
and then Willem Dafoe's in it.
He's Frederick Harding in the movie.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's like we're trying to find that next up actor though, man. It's
there's really I don't know. Like I would say Timothy Chalamet is probably the easiest.
He has to be. I like to be in that conversation of like the greats.
I really thought, like you said, I mean, we both thought Jonathan Majors was gonna be. I was for sure on Jonathan Majors. Yeah, I was for sure Jonathan Majors.
I get mad even think about it because he really.
And it's even weird saying his name because I feel like I haven't heard this name in so long.
Yeah, the odds of us hearing that name is like very low too because like. The circumstances of everything that's going on, obviously, with
the political and economical state of the world.
The Rock was next up at a point too, so yeah, I think you're not the only one to fall off, man.
The Rock should stick with WWE.
Finding real success over there. I mean, like when you that good at one thing, son, just stick with it. You can't play. You like at first it was like he brought The Rock into Hollywood, then he brought Dwayne Johnson to WWE. It's like flip those, and I think you might be good at both. Unfortunately, it's hard. Like I said, it's hard being that next up guy because like even the older cast, like Brad Pitt's fucking 60, and people still want Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, like I mean those actors,
Tom Hanks in their movies, like that's what they want.
That's the funny thing too is that like the actors that we know from the bigger movies will always have roles. Like Michael Caine was like 80 something making Batman.
Yeah,
like Kurt Russell is still making movies. He got a son out here making movies with him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Kurt Russell's like in his 70s.
Yeah.
And Leonardo DiCaprio's getting up there. Samuel Jackson's in his 70s making movies.
75, I think.
Yeah, like I mean, like those actors don't just realistically, actors just don't go away. Like they don't just retire.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're next up, you'll never ever have to look for a role ever again.
Yeah, I mean, like Robert Downey Jr. is like in his 50s, and like he's just now hitting like the prime of his career. Like, Robert Downey Jr. realistically could like run off.
Like he's gonna be replacing like. I guess I would say Tom Hanks. Like
Tom Hanks is probably the only one I know
supporting
now
roles.
that isn't getting like roles right now.
He's gonna be in those supporting roles because Tom Hanks is 81 I think or something.
Tom Hanks is that old. No.
Is he? Or no, I'm thinking of not Tom Hanks. Is that De Niro? That's like 80?
You're Robert De Niro's up there. Okay, I think Tom Hanks I think is in his 80s. Tom Hanks is like in his 50s.
Tom Hanks I think is younger than Downey.
He might be. I think they're like in that realm. Robert De Niro's old too. Yeah, he's like 81, 82. Yeah, Robert De Niro, he did. Yeah, he did have a baby.
He freak man.
His wife is like pretty young too, or his girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hanks I think is younger than. But it's like you said, they don't go away.
Same thing with like Al Pacino. Like, Al Pacino probably should not be making movies still, but here he is.
I watched what was that shit called? 50 Cent was in it. I said it in the group chat. Help.
I don't know what you're talking about.
50 Cent filmography. I gotta look it up now. Like,
you ever see the 50 Cent movie where he lost all that weight?
yeah. Can we not talk about that movie?
That's a good movie, bro. What you mean?
Him on a hospital bed is crazy.
You ever see that?
I seen it.
Dude, where the fuck is this movie at?
It's a good movie, bro. He lost like 50 pounds though. That movie did
They
no
telling me
numbers.
that he never made
looked
this
crazy.
movie.
I ain't gonna lie, he looked crazy, son. They was making a meme out of him.
Bruh, he was in this movie. I'm about to fucking find it. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. Righteous Kill. That's what it's called.
I've never heard of it.
I just watched that like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and like I don't know. It was long story short. Like Pacino's like the bad guy, like because he's fucking great at doing that. He fucks over De Niro. And that's what I don't know why I thought De Niro and fucking Hanks like flipped him around, but like it's funny that like to see them in a movie like 15 years ago and they still look old as fucking.
Dude, you want to know an actor that I always think of because he was so I probably shouldn't bring him up on the podcast. Kevin Spacey.
On that note,
you cut the tape.
On that.
He played some crazy
note.
villains for like a good like few years in a row, and then you turned out he was actually a real villain.
Yeah.
A horrible individual.
On that note, Damon, anything you got to add with
Watch Invincible.
Yeah,
man,
do you
watch
anything to add
Invincible.
with Invincible? I feel
I
like
really
maybe
ain't
you
got
could-
nothing. I mean, y'all gotta watch that shit, bro. Y'all really do, man. I don't even know what made me stay up till 3 in the morning to watch that shit.
They came out at 3 in the morning.
Yes,
came
he
out
made
at
the
3 in the
video.
morning.
Yo,
I
I thought you were just
it's-
up recording at 4.
no, because I was refreshing. I'm like, yo, where is this episode at? It was 2:00 in the morning. I was like, I was gonna watch it,
How do you know
That's
episode
what
5 at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday?
bro.
I remember episode 6. I think before the episode started, I looked. I was like, damn, it's out. So like when I get home, I make the video.
Usually, I get the notification to be like Invincible episode out now. Like I always get the Twitter notification because of the people I follow.
Yeah, it was out at like 3 in the morning.
That's
I'm
insane.
thinking like, do I wake up? I'm like, fuck it. I might as well just watch.
I got a
this shit.
spoiler for me this morning. I was pretty mad about it. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say it.
I kept refreshing, and then I woke up at like 7:30. I seen it was like the Invincible, not the Invincible. I'm sorry, the Virtuoso logo near on my friend's thing. So I clicked on it, and it was.
That was the first thing I did when I woke up this morning. I was like,
what the fuck?
I was like, why is somebody posting at 10 a.m.?
I'm like, yo, he's not
That
up.
shit was at
He's not up
4.
longer than me. Like, he's not up longer than me.
Yo,
He's not vibing harder than me.
Realistically, I fell asleep probably an hour before. Like, I probably fell asleep right when the episode came out because I was waiting for it to draft in the fantasy draft.
Dude, I was
I will say
waiting forever. That's what I was waiting for. Like maybe I could go again if I stay up too.
I will say it's a scene at the start of the episode. This is like, it's not a spoiler, but like they basically throwing a jab at why the seasons take so long and shit, and like why they taking breaks.
Oh, is it the one where he's at the Comic-Con?
Yes, bro. I'm like, all right, bro.
I kind of but that's
from.
from the comics though. That's not a shot at the show. Like that's like a panel from the comics where like they talk about like how the comic books look different sometimes. But they just animated it, but it still is a good. It is like an excuse for why the things take so long though. At the same time,
I'm like, all right, bro.
I know Anissa shows up in this one, so I'm excited. I gotta go home and catch up.
Yeah, that's probably
Because
one
I know her
yeah.
showing up is outrageous. I think I heard somebody say that they reference Conquest too, which means they're starting to get deep into the show if they're bringing up some of these Viltrumites. So.
They finna tee you. I can't wait till the finale.
So do you think that
Next
this
week's
season's
finale.
better than last season?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
This is my thing with season 1. It got very, very, very slow before that finale. It got very
I
like
will
6,
say- I
7,
will
8
say-
was very, very,
Somebody
very
said
slow.
that-
I ain't gonna lie. The arc with the black dude and his family. I forgot his name.
Yes, I know you're talking about. He was like a big ass
the
rock.
like,
basically.
I say from that to like middle episode 6 was like,
I feel like 6, 7, 8 was pretty boring because we got a lot of just like not to say a lot of nothing, but it was just like
It was all exposition.
Yeah, it was just like-
all them trying to explain everything.
trying to like that's what I was saying. Like it's okay if it's way 10 episodes because the last time it was 10 episodes. Like I like it, but I was like, damn. Man,
I would say this
Get
season's
up.
character arcs with all the characters is
That's what I was
better.
thinking. I'm like,
would
I think
say-
season 2 might be
I would
better.
say it's better.
Somebody said something that made,
think
and
season
I
two
didn't
is
want to
better.
agree with it, man. But season 1 goes downhill after he kills the Guardians of the Globe. Not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Because
like that's your peak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
That's your
like,
peak.
That shock factor of him showing up and attacking the Guardians of the Globe,
And we
then
get
he
no
passed-
character arc for them, so
No.
we can't sympathize with them.
Yeah, like you're like, oh shit, and then like the rest of the show was like just development. Mark getting whooped, Mark getting whooped, Mark getting whooped, and then it's finale.
Yeah, we
Yeah, it
keep
was
thinking like why he do it, but like nothing is developing as it goes. Like
and then
besides
the
Mark getting
finale
angry.
comes and it shoves all the information in your face all at once.
Yep. That's what I was saying. Like I do. I think
but
season 2 blows
what it
out the
was,
water.
too? I think
actually.
season 1 came out at a time where everybody needed a show to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that's why everybody looks back on it so well. I think season 2 definitely does. I will agree with Damon. I think that the storylines and
It's so
the
fucking
character
crazy,
developments
dude.
do feel a lot
Nah,
better.
this finale flop, then I'm gonna have to go with season 1. But so far, I'm gonna go with season 2.
I don't think they had a bad episode of season 2 yet. That's my problem.
Yeah, I
There's
definitely don't think
not
there's
one
ever.
bad
I don't think I've had a
episode.
moment where I was watching season 2. I was like, damn, this is kind of slow, or like I don't like this. You know what I'm saying?
Even though the break happened, but still, like.
Yeah, I mean the break happening obviously sucked, but I mean
I think that's the only
hopefully
thing that's holding it back. Is just that it was a
Yeah.
long ass break and like you kind of lose some like I guess hype and like steam and whatnot. But Invincible got a crazy fan base, man. People are gonna watch. People are gonna tune in.
people are
love it.
clearly up watching that shit.
Yeah, people
Or
love
commenting
it.
on our
I ain't gonna lie.
TikTok
I
shit.
think this last
Dude had
episode-
14 comments at 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, where the fuck? Like, where do y'all live,
Did y'all
bro?
did y'all go to bed yet?
That's why I'm like, yo. I woke up at 7:30. I'm like, dude, there's no way.
Yo,
like,
I
these dudes
had
posted a
like
video.
5 in like the first 15 minutes.
Like, yeah, I just
Like, as
watched
I
it.
was gonna
You're like,
see.
yo, you funny as fuck. I just watched it too.
Yeah,
Like, what's
Like,
funny
yo.
about it? Why we both up?
Like, why we watching that shit? Like, fuck it, though. I ain't gonna lie. I think this past episode might have been the best episode they had yet, bro. I could not wait to the
I believe it because
about to
go home and watch
this
the,
shit.
the story, the storyline, the character arcs, the fighting, like and even just like them having that episode with Alan Alien and Invincible is like
That was
we
a
weren't
cool
doing
one.
that shit in
No.
season 1. And I was like we were getting like little bits and pieces of like even like something as small as them killing off the Guardians of the Globe and then out of nowhere in episode 9 Immortal comes back.
Mhm.
It's like there was no teasing of him coming back. There was no
The Mauler twins just
Ce-
had the Mauler twins.
Cecil is
just dug him
just like Cecil like planning at nothing. It just fucking happens. So it's like when you actually put thought into every single thing, like even Donald shit, and then now we know that Donald shit's connected to dude's boyfriend.
Mhm.
Like he's a fucking, and I'm
Donald,
and it's crazy.
man.
It's crazy because I know for sure Donald's he's gonna do something.
He gonna
in this
crash. He gonna
episode.
crash out.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, man. Just wait till I see it.
I
That
got
motherfucker,
you. You already know I'm gonna
Donald,
text you soon. That
man.
happened like 9.
I
no way.
know. Man, I ain't gonna
can't
lie. His
wait.
dialogue is crazy.
We got to
man.
stop talking about it. I'm
Yeah,
about to watch
yeah,
it.
Yeah, I want to go watch
Alright,
it.
last thing I will say though, again, and I said this in season 1. I ain't gonna lie. Mark is the only motherfucker who pissed me off in the show. Like Mark, fucking like I don't know, bro.
Everything he does is just
Everything he
activating.
do is just piss me off. Like he the one motherfucker.
You want to
bringing
know what it
this
is? It's that
shit
damn
down.
costume. Once we get blue and black Invincible, it just
Now
takes
you a
off from
bright ass motherfucker getting your ass beat.
Yeah, like once he gets the yellow out his suit, bro, and he gets like the blue and black suit straight up, he hops on shit. I'm just
So-
waiting for them to actually do that.
I feel like that's gonna be in the season 3 though, right? I feel like maybe.
Yeah,
Or maybe
got-
like middle of season 3 if they do
Yeah.
like a break again.
Yeah, hopefully something good. But
I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know how long they plan on extending the show because that's why I said this morning when you were talking about the spoilers. I was like, I've read the comics, so I don't know if they're dropping content for the show, if they're adding content for the show. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how closely they're following it. you
Yeah,
know
they
what I'm
are
saying?
changing it because I believe in the comics, Duplicate died. Or no, stayed alive, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
know,
Well,
they like twist and turn.
yeah, they still like they make
but-
like little like different changes here and there. Like
Yeah.
keep the same concept, but then they change stuff for the
Mhm.
show that might work better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Hopefully the finale does hit. I mean, if they delay and it comes out like on a Thursday night, then we can do it for y'all. We do a live reaction for y'all. But if they
I
keep coming out,
definitely do.
if they keep coming out with episodes at 6:00 in the morning on a Tuesday, I don't know
They
where.
came out
It's
one
like,
Wednesday at
it's
10
like
o'clock.
surprise. The Invincible finale drops right now. Like, what are y'all talking? Like, why is there no communication? Like, you know what I'm saying?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, they might be the worst with I would say consistency wise, but I feel like this is the only show for it. I feel like every other show I watch on Amazon Prime that comes out weekly never did this, ever did this like flop around with time and shit. I don't know if it's them like
No, usually the boys
Out of
and Gen
nowhere.
Z have like a set schedule. Where it's
Gen Z only came out a day early one time. I think.
Yeah, I think that was the first episode.
Yeah,
and then
they,
after that,
they
it
dropped
was
because
like-
they dropped 2. I
Yeah,
think.
and then
Other
after
than
that, they're
like,
like, no, listen, this is the same schedule.
yeah,
I know the
so-
boys is pretty strict on their schedule too. It's like
Mhm.
every Friday.
Yeah, if they clean that up in the next week, maybe we could do like I said, maybe do a live reaction. We want to do Invincible obviously for we missed the mark obviously with the day we record and the day it comes out just doesn't work out. But anything else you gotta add, Damien?
No.
Come on.
I will say this though. First time I ever shouted somebody out. You know what I mean? My mom's birthday tomorrow. Mama, I love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Man,
Happy birthday, Ma Dukes.
You know what I mean? I love you. Thank you for everything that you provided for me.
Mhm.
And yeah, gotta shout you out. You know?
Type shit.
Shout out,
Type
Mom.
shit. Oh,
Shout
I
out.
mean, type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Type
I'm putting that in there. I'm
Type
sending it
stuff.
to her, and I'm like,
Type
yo,
stuff.
this who you is type shit.
I mean, shout out Future for reaching out to me and
Uh,
asking permission to say type shit.
Yo, on that
Type
note,
stuff.
on that note, so, thank you guys for joining us. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you guys next week.
This was Bryler.
Yo, that shit was funny. He said, Future hit me up, and he was like, I'm glad bro came with proof.